Hello everybody, and welcome back to South Mountain, South Mountain Creamery Farm. But if you've been watching the last couple of episodes, you'll know that the farm isn't actually ours yet. We've got to make $2 million in the first year to be able to buy the farm. And then we've got to try and make some money on top of that to get some machinery, some livestock, and actually keep the whole thing running. But as you might be able to tell, we're already well past the 2 million, and actually last episode you might have noticed the money has gone down a little bit, but that's okay. I'll show you why in a second. To begin with, we've been cutting a bit of trees here, so I just need to, whoops, oh, where they go? Just need to get these put up into the truck here, and we're going to take them over to the lumber yard. They're not really to try and make profit on. This is really just to clear some space. And once I get these last couple of ones in, I'll show you what it is that we've been making space for. Because obviously we are down here near the farm, or looking forward to the day that we can say that that's going to be ours. But you know, still basically got 3/4 of a year to go before we can really say that that's happening. So we've been making an amazing amount of money, but I'm not quite sure that we're going to be able to sustain the rate of income that we have right now, because we bought a patch of forest at the beginning of the year, and we've been doing a lot of logging, like a lot of logging up there. And to be honest, there's not that much left up there now. I'll be showing you that a little bit later. But almost, oh no, that one almost fell off. But anyway, let's just get this last one loaded up as well and put some straps on, and then I'll show you what I've been up to. So yeah, we made quite a lot of money already. I decided to reinvest some of it, and I bought a field right here next to farm. And as you can see, I've been quite busy already. So we had to dig the whole thing out to be able to put foundations in, and we put heating plants into all of these greenhouses. As you can see, there's quite a few of them. This little corner field here was a perfect place to put all these things, because when we eventually take over the farm, the cows are just over on the other side of the road, and they're going to be producing a lot of manure, and we can use that manure here in the greenhouses. But for now, we're just going to have to run them on using some water and just regular running, basically. So we got some that are growing tomatoes, and we got some that are growing lettuces. And as you can see, it's quite a nice little setup here. It means I can drive up and down these little streets here to make sure the water gets filled up and get manure and stuff like that. The other investment that I did in order to be able to really keep this running is, ta-da! We got our first proper tractor. This is obviously a tractor that's going to stay with us when we take over the farm. I've already got it configured to have front loader attached on it, although I haven't got the front loader yet. And we got a water tank, obviously, so that we can fill up the tanks for the greenhouses. Now, I did a bit of calculation, even though we had to put in the water pump here and everything like that, a little pumping house and a tool shed, and a bit of cover for the machinery. I reckon that towards the end of the year, all the money that we spent on establishing this, we should be breaking even on. So yeah, we're not going to make a ton of money out of it until the farm's up and running, but we should be breaking even. And that means we'll have a couple of 100,000 extra from what we have now, plus whatever else we can figure out to make money on in the next few months. So yeah, I hope you like this. I'm quite excited, because obviously when we take over the farm, there's the shop down here over on the farm. It's a very, very popular farm shop. And obviously the main output is the dairy products, but I'm thinking of expanding. I'm thinking, you know, why not also sell some vegetables? I think, you know, if we can afford it. get some sheep in, sell some lamb meat and some wool products perhaps. Maybe we can sell honey, eggs from chickens, all this kind of stuff. So I really want to see that shop thrive, and so we're getting established a little bit early, and in the meantime we are just going to be selling our vegetables to an independent market a little bit further away. But for now, I'm quite pleased with this setup. We still got a little bit of room up at the back of the field here. I'm kind of half toying with the idea of putting in another row of greenhouses, but we might also need to put in perhaps a solar panel or two, so that there's enough power to drive heaters and everything in here and keep the cost down. So yeah, like I said, I'm quite excited. I think this has worked out well. Like I said, it should break even financially, even though it's obviously quite a lot of money to be spending right away. But the other bit I was going to show you today was jump into a dirty old truck here. It's just going to take this over to the lumber yard, and then here next to me in the car I've got I borrowed a drone, and I thought it would be nice if we could actually get an aerial shot of the area that we've been logging, because it's actually much easier to show you all how much we've been doing when you can see it from up above. We've been working a lot on logging, and it's paid really well. We do have some fairly hefty logging machinery, and I think that by the time we take over the farm, we're going to be selling that, so we can reinvest whatever we can sell it for to invest in some actual farm-specific machinery and livestock, because I've been looking at the livestock prices, and obviously to keep this dairy running you need a fairly healthy herd of cattle to begin with. I reckon each cow goes somewhere between $5,000 and $6,000 around here, and I reckon at least for a starting herd we would need between 40 and 50 cattle. So that's quite a lot, you know. That's somewhere between $200,000 and $300,000 just for the livestock. So we're just gonna get the guys to drop that off. Lovely, they're always super quick. As you can see, this is not really anything we're making money off. This is just something that I really needed out of the way, because we had to cut down the tree to make room for the water pumps and everything down by our new greenhouses. But we're gonna drive into the forest a bit here, because as I explained in one of the previous episodes, if you watched it, this first part of the forest isn't owned by us. But as we drive up over the next ridge and around the corner here, we get into the bit where we have been working and where we actually own the forest. We just got to turn up to the left here, and here we are. As you can see, quite a bit has been cleared already. So I think this might actually be a pretty good place to put the drone up, because there's a bit of clear space, and to be honest, I'm not the most professional drone driver in the entire world, but let's see how it goes. It's supposed to be one of those that has all the auto gyros and things on it. So, wow, it's getting up quite well already. Here you go. So as you can see, we've cleared a huge area. You can see the ridge that's running along there. That marks the boundary of our forest. So we still got a little clump of trees right up on top of the hill there. We got a little bit of timber left down in one of the shallows here, but as you can see, going all the way out along here, you can see a bit of machinery dotted around the place. But as you can see, we've cleared an awful lot of forest already. And that basically is pretty cool, but it means that there isn't a huge amount of earning potential left in this forest. Just gonna see if I can lower us down a bit here in terms of, you can see that we got a little JCB skid steer here down here, if you can see it. We'll see if can I fly right down close by it without breaking the drone? shifting a bit quick there, but there it is. So right now we're using it for stump cutting, but this is another piece of machinery that I obviously reckon we're actually going to be using on the farm. This will be perfect for going in and scooping the manure by the cows, and maybe even doing bale jobs and lifting silage and stuff like that, just around the farm as a little piece of yard machinery. And it'll be really handy in between the greenhouses, because you'll be able to move around, because I mean I haven't left that much space, but as you can see, we have left a few trees here and there. That was kind of in line a little bit up towards the ridge there, because in line with environmental management consultants, they were suggesting that there were some owl species that needed some sanctuary. Now there is quite a few trees here along the road, and originally I was thinking of leaving a bit of a barrier so it wouldn't look too open, but to be honest, I'm realizing that there's quite a lot of wood there. There's potentially quite a lot of money in it. We are going to have to do a lot of stump clearing, and we're going to have to replant some trees. Obviously that is a much longer term investment to replant, and it's not going to be super high on my priority agenda. I think the requirements for keeping this land registered as forestry operation is that it needs to be replanted within 3 years. So that's doable. That's doable, but means we're not necessarily going to be covering the whole place in saplings right away. Depends a little bit on what our financial situation looks like. So as you can see, we're sitting on 2.3 million right now. Like, maybe if I'm being a bit optimistic, maybe there is, I don't know, $300,000, $400,000 left of earning potential in this forest at the very top, I would say. On the other hand, you know, that, oopsie do, crashing our drone here, sorry about that. But to be honest, that's kind of okay, insofar as that would be enough to bring us in the livestock. If we break even on the greenhouses, that brings us back quite a bit again. So potentially we could be looking at sitting at around $3 million once all the forestry and the earnings from the greenhouses come in. But what I am thinking about is actually to put in a few more greenhouses as well, at the back row there, just to see. And then obviously the other bit is I'm starting to do a bit of contractor work around the place, because it's a good way to get to know the farmers, and it helped quite a bit with getting the price down for the field we did buy over on the corner there. But for the time being, this little video update was really just to show you all what's kind of going on down here in the forest, and now with the greenhouse operations. If any of you have particular suggestions on how maybe we could bump up the earnings until we take over the farm, I'd be really interested to hear. I was thinking about whether I could, you know, seriously think about even buying more fields and maybe a baler and something like that, and maybe, you know, simply start doing some bale sailing or something like that. But I'm not 100% sure whether it's really going to be good earning potential. But yeah, it's kind of early morning here still, so I've got a full day of work ahead of me. Still clearing some of this. Probably better move that car before I take the Scorpion King to it. But yeah, I thought it was just nice to say hello to everybody again, see how you're all doing, and let us know, let you guys know that everything's well here on the South Mountain. And I'll be sending you another little video update. By then we'll probably be pretty close to being done with the logging, and we'll be setting out on new adventures. But for now, it's thank you very much, and see you again soon. Bye.